interested me, and I thought maybe there is something in that vinyl is better quality than CD. What do you think?
I'd say.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah. Well,
I tell you what, I do miss. I miss the warmth of vinyl, and I also think as well when I've had an old vinyl thing and I've had it on CD years later, I miss all the bumps and the crackles and the. It's basically it's a lump of rock bouncing, isn't it? It's basically a stick in a groove with knobs in it. These go. Here comes music at the end. So it's very. So I don't know if you guys have. You must have had a bit of old vinyl years ago that was scratched, and when you replace it on a CD, you still expect the scratch to come in the same place.
Well, exactly right. And that's like listening to a song, let's say on the radio, where you're so staring at so much time, and you're just waiting for the next one. And then when you don't hear the next one in the order you're used to, it kind of throws you off a little bit. And I actually just received a vinyl about a month ago from a band out of New York, and I was so excited to get it. And I played it and got through about 3 songs, and then the needle started screwing up. So I started replacing it. I was like, "Oh, you have to be effing kidding me!" So
you stick a bit of blue tack or something on the top of the needle, or a coin or something to weigh it down a bit.
Yeah. So I do also think, though, I think with digital downloads, I think people don't have anything to have in their hand, and I've noticed how people are actually saying, "Do you have that as a hard copy?" To bands, saying that they don't actually just want the digital download. I know I suppose from the money point of view, it's cheaper to do it that way, but I think that's why people are going back to vinyl, because I think they actually love the idea of having the music in their hand and then playing it. Yeah, I think so, and I think it means more. I think it's kind of that.
Was great because you used to pour over the album art more and things like that. You could see it more. I tell you what I've noticed. A friend of mine pointed out as well is. He used to say years ago, now with downloads and everything, you flip through music, so you'll give something a 3-second window. You'll audition something on Spotify, say, or something, or you'll flick onto the next, and you'll bounce around all the time throughout everything. He used to say in the days, particularly vinyl, but also with CDs, I guess, as well. He said he used to buy something, and he would force himself to like it because he bought it.
Yeah.
He just had a copy. Whether he doesn't like it or not, I've paid for this.
Yeah.
And the kind of on the same thing as well, I hate nothing more than the shuffle button on an iPod or whatever, because kind of to your point, Brian, before, there's so much effort goes in to an album in terms of a running order and everything else, and it just winds me up. You're forced, at least with a vinyl, okay, you can try and skip to that track, but I guarantee you'll find either a little bit of the last track or you'll be halfway through the next track if you try to do that. So I just think it enforces the story as well of an album.
That's a really good point. I think people do kind of don't listen to the album all the way through. And I think that's the thing. So vinyl is a way of appreciating what those musicians have put together and why they've put it together. So,
and not just that, I think for me, a lot of it's the artwork, because, if you think of, like, classic albums, like, one of the most classic albums for artwork, like Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, they have the picture on the insert has the picture of all 4 of them, then it's got the green pyramids, or the Led Zeppelin.
Sgt. Pepper's.
There you go, Sgt. Pepper's, yeah. Or even the Led Zeppelin albums, with the 1, 2, and 3, it's kind of got the spin, so you're kind of going through the different pictures as it's rotating around. So, I think for me, besides having your hand, is the artwork. You see a lot more artwork because there's a lot more, you got a lot more area to cover, as opposed to like a little maybe 3x4 a little CD cover, and you got to go through page after page. This one, you got a massive piece of artwork right in front of you.
Yeah, and I've got a version of Sgt. Pepper's as well with all the cut-out glasses and all sorts of stuff still in it as well. And it's just like you say, just kind of throw it out on the table and be like, "This is ace," Look at all this stuff. It's cool.
But it's like thingy as well with vinyl. Like for me, it takes me back to my childhood. So my mum and dad sitting there listening with the Beatles' White Album on a Sunday afternoon, and not the sun shining through the window. And it's like a 4-in window, and I can remember this like it was 2 minutes ago, and it's just that sound and how raw the music was, and Paul McCartney, John Lennon, their voices just absolutely just glistening.
if you wanted to listen to the next track, you had to physically get up and move the needle.
Well, that's right.
You can't sit down and do it. And to this day, you can't sit down and do it. You have to physically
stamp on the floor really hard. Which you could stamp on the floor hard if you wanted to skip it.
Yeah.
Also try and be a DJ with vinyl when we were younger. You know, with the Beatles' White Album. I tried mixing that with Regatta de Blanc by the Police. And my dad absolutely went mad. But I thought I did a really good job. I was the next Calvin Harris. I thought it was, anyway.
I think also with vinyl, though, it gets us all away from media, doesn't it? Because like you're just saying, it reminds you of a Sunday afternoon, but it's almost sacred, isn't it? If you're listening to that, you're not looking at your Facebook page at the same time. Well, you probably would be on your phone, I suppose. But you know what I mean? It kind of gets you away from the computer screen, maybe, and just actually appreciate the music, what it is, as opposed to trying to do 3 or 4 things at the same time.
Yeah,
I think if you got vinyl out, you know, and it did take you back to like 1987 on a Sunday afternoon in July, I personally wouldn't want to get, you know, my iPhone out of my iPad. I'd just sit there, you know, feet up, nice brew, and just listening. It'd just be awesome. In fact, I'm going to go on eBay now and buy a record player as we're speaking.
Excellent, are you?
There you go. I'm going to
nice
buy one
for you as well.
Get a Fisher Price one then.
Yeah.
You know what I noticed?
I need to say that I'm just selling one, yeah.
Have you got one on eBay, B?
Yeah.
Send me the link. I might buy it.
See, what I like to do if I get a new record, or even if I go out and buy, well, maybe new, but you know, an older album. My favorite thing to do is go down into my man cave, you know, pop the headphones on, and just sit there and listen to it. Then plug it into the old school speakers, because I know the sound is completely different. Because the system I have downstairs, like, this thing's got to be at least 30 years old easily.
Yeah,
and it's still kicking around. The needle needs to be replaced, but otherwise it's all good.
Yeah. I used to love in the middle of the vinyl. Do you remember the pressing plant? They used to write messages every now and again down near the label. And what was great about those is they would be unique, because the guy used to write them by hand. And I remember one I had an Iron Maiden album, and it said "Give it some headbutts" in the middle. And I've got another one somewhere that says "Life is like a pube on a toilet seat. Sooner or later, you're going to get pissed off."
What was that on?
I think it was on. I can't remember. Some punk album.
Probably.
Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton.
It wasn't our EP, was it?
I'm rotting.
If it was Dolly Parton, I'd probably be looking at my jugs.
And let's be honest, we've all looked at Dolly Parton's jugs.
Yeah.
Apart from me.
Hold on one sec. B, I'm going to get a picture of you now and tweet it again.
Oh, don't, no.
I'm doing it. Right, hold on. Dolly Parton. I'm joking.
Yeah.
Dolly Parton's jugs.
Oh man.
If this brings up jugs, I'm going to be so happy.
I love the way that you're pretending to search and where you're going to your favourites.
Yeah, exactly. You got them all printed out next to me.
Yeah, but wait till my girlfriend goes on my MacBook and says, "What the hell is that picture?" Download it.
So I've got your transplant lined up.
Yeah, working girl.
Transplant implant lined up. Not transplant.
Right, B, you're going to love this one. Sorry, B.
Oh, all right. Well,
So, yeah, I do think. So yeah, vinyl is awesome, and fair play to the Science lads for doing it. Because I think certainly from what we looked at with the EP and everything else, there are certainly costs associated with that as well. So, you know, it is kind of hats off to those guys. I think in terms of really sticking to that and going with it. I think it's a very, very wise decision. And I think it does deserve some credit.
I mean, they're going to have it available as a digital download as well, but I think the majority of hardcore fans will want to get the vinyl, definitely.
A lot of bands
I'm one.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna listen to the band who's trying to bring back vinyl here. This is Signs with Zebra or Zebra, however you want to pronounce it. So,
Zebra, please. I'm English.
yeah.
It's definitely Zebra.
You're right. My mistake. So here's Zebra by Signs. That was Science with a Zebra, and that is a single that's also available, I think, on vinyl. Am I correct on that one, B?
Yeah, it's limited edition. I think they've still got some left of them. But did you know why they called it Zebra?
I do not know.
Well, what they've done in their sort of lyrics, they wanted the lyrics to sort of say, it's like Zion Calling is where they sort of see themselves hanging about together, having a smoke and enjoying themselves. Put that picture away.
Yeah.
Brothers Singing is the time when they're sort of quoting from films and having a laugh. Early mornings, everyday life routine, that kind of thing. Brains Exploding is hating everyday life routine. And each time they want to spell zebra down the side. So if you have a look at their lyrics, down the side it spells out zebra. So there you go.
I love things like that. That is awesome. Nice. That's a special mind. I like that.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, their lyrics are always edgy and really cool anyway, but I just thought that was an interesting thing. And Brian's really quiet now, so he's looking at me going, I didn't know that.
No, I had no idea.
No one's Sun lyric sheets. If you look down the side of those, they spell things like Umniobian isn't.
Yeah, to be honest with you, it has took us quite a while to get to do that.
I know.
When we write these lyrics,
time working.
we don't just write any old lyric down, you know. I mean, it takes me ages to spell the and.
Yeah.
But it's good fun.
It is.
And do you know what I've got to say? I've really enjoyed being on, and I feel like we now need to be a little bit silly, only because we were very serious before about a very good thing. About we were being serious about the right things, but now I just feel like I've got to be silly. So I apologise.
Oh no, that's fine. Cause we got about just about a minute left here. But just before we wrap things up completely, I do want to give you guys a big thank you for having that intro on your EP. When I heard that, I was like, this is awesome.
We did. Not so, could we, Grant? We did say when we were on your show, We said we'd call the EP that, and we did.
You know, that was awesome because it's such a classic story. Like, everybody's heard that interview, everybody told about it, wasn't it?